All right, folks. So I've got the Work Tuff Gear Lynx here. It's a great knife um, for a lot of different purposes, which is why I really like this knife. So number one, it makes a really great EDC. If I remember correctly, it's got about a 3.5 inch blade length, which makes it legal to carry in a lot of places, and it just makes it a handy size to use as well. Um, from everything from cutting into packages, cutting a burger in half, if you're eating out, that kind of thing. It's just a nice size for that kind of thing. Um, so I do tend to carry it a lot, and I feel like it would make a good self-defense knife as well. When you're in, when you live in the city or anything, something like that, where you can't carry, um, a larger knife. If you needed to use this for self-defense, I think it would do just fine. As per usual, at the Work Tuff Gear knives, you get a nice Kydex sheath. They always do a wonderful job with their sheaths. There's a nice lip to push on, so you can push with your little thumb push right there to get the knife out. It's wonderfully designed, these sheaths. The only complaint I would have to Work Tuff Gear is to offer more colors, but I do understand how they kind of run their business. They just make the highest quality knives possible, and the highest quality sheaths, and you do get some options with like grip colors and stuff like that, but I think it would make it too complicated to have different colors in Kydex. If I had my choice, I'd like to have kind of a dull gray color, an orange color, like a hunter orange would be nice, if you're worried about losing your knife, that kind of thing. But of course, you can always get one made for you custom, although I'm not sure, I don't know if you'd come into the quality of this. You might, but I haven't seen a whole lot of custom Kydex with this kind of lip on there, but maybe some people do that. Yeah, so great knife. The one I got has kind of olive colored grips with an orange liner, which I kind of like. Makes it very pretty. These knives are N690 cryo, as you can see. The material they're made out of, it seems to retain an edge. I haven't had to sharpen it at all. I've used it, I wouldn't say I've used it a lot, but I've used it a fair amount. So I've used it for wood prep, feather sticking, opening packages, like I said, cutting up food prep when I'm camping, cutting zip ties. I've done a little bit of batoning with it, that kind of thing. So, but the blade has not lost any edge whatsoever. It's basically brand new, which is nice. Let's talk about the grip first, and we'll talk about the blade. So the grip it's okay. I like the look of the grip, but the function, it's not quite as good as the Work Tuff Gear Kopachi I had. It had a bit more of a curve in kind of the spine of the grip, and it just fit better in your hand that way with the curve. It just kind of felt like it kind of hugged my palm, and it just felt like it fit really well into my hand. Now, that's not to say this grip is bad. It works just fine. I just find, maybe I was spoiled with that grip. It just doesn't feel like it fits into my hand quite as well. Now, one thing I do like about this knife grip is that you have the blade coming down quite far off the grip, and the grip is quite thin. So your fingers, there's almost no chance of them sliding forward onto the blade. If you're doing any sort of thrusting, stabbing, that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of nice that it holds that way. And you got these little pinch points as well, so you can bring your thumb higher up if you need to do that for any kind of your tasks you're doing. So yeah, it's a well designed grip. You can see it's kind of flat. It doesn't really swell out at all, and that's just fine. Now let's talk about the blade. So 90-degree spine for striking ferro rod, if you decide you want to do that, which actually these small knives are perfect for, in my opinion. And it's got a very big depth, this blade, so it's quite deep, which I like the look of, and I like the function of for cutting. If you're doing food prep, when you're camping, chop, 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 that blade depth, keeps your fingers off the cutting board, so you can actually make contact with the cutting board while keeping the knife actually perfectly level with the cutting board if you need to. Makes it for more efficient chopping. And I also like the belly of the blade, how it sweeps up so far, because that's excellent for skinning and game processing, that kind of thing. And then I also like the drop point as well. There's no swedge on it, which is just fine by me. I don't really feel the need for that, but the drop point is nice just for making the knife look nicer, in my opinion, and also for stabbing. So that's basically all I really have to say about it. It's been a very good knife. Oh, you can see it's got a high saber grind, which is a very good grind to have with a knife that has a lot of depth. Makes it better at cutting. Yeah. I should mention this knife is designed by, I think his name's Alex at Aurora Borealis Knives. Look his channel up if you've never heard of him before, or if you're interested in him. He's got lots of videos on these knives that are a heck of a lot better than mine. So, but yeah, definitely, if you're in the market for a good blade, this is certainly one to get. We'll show maybe some feather sticking here and some box cutting cardboard, that kind of thing real quick, just to demonstrate its capabilities. And otherwise, you have yourself a wonderful day. Alright, so let's do a little bit of feather sticking here. Try to show it as best I can on the camera. It's always a bit awkward, basically hugging the camera right now. Let's see if we can find a good edge. I feather stick this piece of wood a lot already. So even though I've kind of marred this wood up by feather sticking, it still does a good job. Try to get it in the shot, actually. There we go. So yeah, it's excellent for feather sticking. I use this knife often for feather sticking, because that's, once I learned about feather sticking, I never used paper to start a fire ever again. So yeah, just a quick feather stick. Normally I use a stick about twice as long as this, and I'll get a lot longer feathers. So yeah, easily capable of that. It does a great job. All right, let's try some cardboard. All right, we've got a pizza box from the hood here. So we'll just cut into that, and so if I just do a little bit of a sawing motion, cuts in a really nice straight line. Doesn't take much pressure to puncture the cardboard. And then we can just cut through this bottom edge here. There we go. Doesn't want to go through that part for some reason. But yeah, I've cut up a lot of cardboard with this. It does quite a good job. So not a lot of effort required. Cuts through cardboard pretty much like butter. So yeah, wonderful knife to have in your collection, and a great EDC option, or a camp knife option in my opinion. Thanks for watching.